Alrighty. So, I believe my sludge protecting suit has worn off, and I need to get back. So, I don't see a hell of a lot for me to jump on, other than that piece of grate, so I might just have to make a mad dash back to the ledge there and hope I don't die. Unless I can jump on a pipe. No, I really can't do that. Okay. Nope, yep, that ain't working. Oh. Okay. I'm back. Toxic protection. Alright. Investigate Project Zion.
Warning. Energy contamination detected.
Ah, shit. Well, I don't see what the purpose of doing that was. Let's see. Oh. Something over there to press. Whoa! Random imp. 2 random imps. Oh! I still don't have my regular grenades. Why did I give those up? Okay, Lazarus Zion. We have made great strides in regards to Project Lazarus, so much that Project Zion is unnecessary. Zion produced subjects that were noticeably weaker than their native counterparts. Facility 238 contains the portal to the source, and Project Lazarus hatched from there. Dr. Hayden has taken the project on in full stride, even cloning himself to do so. A beta clone exists here. However, Dr. Hayden has asked that no one get near it. OP. Alrighty. You down with OP? You down with OP? No, not me.
This isn't progress, it's madness. The board understands the peculiar nature of your work, and no one is in the dark on what those sacrifices mean to mankind. But your judgment is no longer considered sound.
My judgment? I'm the captain of the USS Journey. Oh, secret. I've got the best judgment out of anybody. Oh! Oh boy. There are a lot of cacodemons out here. And those bastards. Oh, almost fell down into the acid. What the heck?
It's time we meet in person. My office is on the second floor of this facility.
must be allowed to leave this.
Prototype lab. Kind of interesting. Got all the different hell tablets here and various corpses. What's over here? Oh, that's closed off, I guess. Oh, here we go.
You have no idea what you have just done.
Hayden clone. That's Dr. Hayden? Oh boy, he's got... What? Wait, what are these? Oh, do those hurt me? Yes. I think they like take away my armor or something. Yep, they take away my health. Okay, don't touch them. Don't touch the spiky things. Alright. So apparently that guy isn't really affected by my bullets. So I've got to find a way to kill him with my mind bullets. Which means I gotta think of a way to beat him. Oh boy. Ugh. Okay, nothing up there. Ugh. Keeps dropping these landmines everywhere. Oh, grenade. No, I better keep what I got. Okay. How do I kill that guy? Railgun?
Weapon activated. Initiating. 3, 2, 1.
Oh. Heh. I think I got an idea. Oh. Freaking bastard.
2, 1.
Oh, it's just gonna keep shooting? Okay.
3, 2, 1. Shield damage. 3, 2, 1. Shield damage.
Yeah, that doesn't seem to really hurt him that much.
3, 2, 1. Shield deactivated. Weapon offline.
Huh. I really thought that was gonna do more. But it still says his health is at 100%. So... I don't know. Ah, more demons. No. Wait, he's vulnerable. I'm gonna take him out. Curb stomp.
All personnel, please proceed to the Lazarus elevator. Do not float at level 5.
Escape the facility. Okay, that's probably good advice. Okay, better get... Can I escape through here? No. No, of course not. I gotta go somewhere. I gotta go that way. What the heck? Oh wow, I got a lot of health from that. I'm glad I picked up that demon grenade. Can I escape through here? I honestly don't remember the layout of this place too well. I think I might have came from this way though. No. I think I'm going the wrong way. Okay, I think I know. Shite. Okay, I think I came from down here. Yes, I did. Okay. I gotta get out of here. General S. Kane is not going to be happy when I tell him about what I found. Oh, back aboard the USS Journey. And it's just me too. My crew is still out in the town getting drunk.
Initiating. Perhaps you need to take a break.
You think this is how it ends?
Take a break. Your journey is far from over. Oh, wow. I'll vote it up. Yeah. Story, single player, custom geo. Not so much the custom geo. I think it was maybe more bosses. Yeah, definitely bosses. Okay. Woo! Okay, so that was The Journey V1 by darksoulblue. Oh man, what a marathon. Yeah, wow. So this is just basically like, it did have a story, I'll give it that. It did have a story. And it's basically like you start out on the ship and there's, you know, your captain, whoever, and you got to report to the commander, and there's all these demons that start showing up on your ship, right? And then you got to defend it. And then, you know, you go from your ship to a facility to like back to the ship to the facility, like, and then you end up on a planet and then back to the ship. And this level is long, long, long. Man, I must have been playing for over an hour. It is one hell of a marathon. But it was interesting, actually. There's just a lot of content to it, you know. Yeah, I mean, yeah, geez, you know, it's kind of hard to just wrap my mind around it because it's, you know, so much stuff happened. Really interesting the way this person, the way they had like kind of like custom geo, sort of in a way. Like they used the original, they used the standard modules, but then they would just put like, you know, they would put like a wall or something, or like a floor, and then put stuff on top of it. like to just kind of like add another spot to it. And one thing I did like is all the secret Doom guys you could find. Now, unfortunately, they didn't really mean much. I don't think. I don't think that finding them actually gave you anything other than maybe more score. I don't even know if it did that, honestly, but kind of neat. I like finding secrets. There were a couple of weapons that I could pick that I was able to find too that were kind of hidden, Yeah, and I like how this person did. They did things a little bit, uniquely. Like the person they had like the health dispenser up in the wall, that like health module or that health pack, and then like you dispense it to get health. And the part where you got to bring the power up to a certain number, and then you use those panels to adjust the power up. I think that was cool. Like, I wish I'd see more of that type of stuff in other snap maps, like those, like puzzle type problems. That one wasn't really particularly hard. I think that, you'd have to switch up the numbers to make it so that you actually do have to do a little bit of math, not just like literally, not make it so easy. But yeah, interesting map. The story at times was a little hard for me to follow. Like, I kind of got the basic grasp. Like, there was this Dr. Hayden, who I guess was the main bad guy. I feel like the story got a little confounded, though. Like, it was kind of hard for me to follow. And, I am a couple of beers in, I gotta admit, because, like, it was really frustrating trying to get this map to load earlier. But... no. The story was kind of interesting, and I really like the boss fight. Like, that was pretty cool. I like boss fights where you kind of have to think of a unique way to kill the boss other than just shoot them a bunch of times. And I like how this person did that. They had the that rail gun, I guess it was, that shot off the blue lightning. And then you've got to like lure him in, and then you got to shoot him a few times. This map was a little rough around the edges, though, I gotta say. Like, there were some times where like I'd be in the middle of a battle and there would just be like no music. Or there'd be times like where I'm supposed to go activate something or go press something or go do something, and there's just sort of no indication that I'm supposed to do it. It's just this map's a little rough around the edges, though. But I like the size of it in a way. It's pretty impressive that this person managed to get so much into one map. Just the sheer scale of it. It's like, this is probably like, a 70 or 80 minute map. It's pretty impressive as far as that goes. So let me go ahead and get into my favorite and least favorite. Let me kind of think about, let me ruminate upon my favorite and least favorite things. I think my favorite thing about this map was probably towards the end when you actually got onto the planet's surface. Like, that was kind of, I really liked that because that was such a change of scenery. Like, going between the ship and the facility or the installation or whatever it was called, it kind of felt like you were just in the same area. Like, even though it said I was in the ship and it said I was in the installation, like, it kind of just all felt the same. But once I got down onto the planet's surface, that was when the map sort of shifted into a new gear. and it was like, okay, I'm officially in a new part of the map. Like it looked different and it felt different, and it was finally a change of scenery in a way that seemed more real, other than just, yeah, by the way, you're technically not on the ship anymore, or something like that, where it's kind of like, well, I mean, all the modules look the same, so. But that was kind of where it got a little bit more interesting for me. And I'd have to say, like, my favorite part is the the boss fight. I thought was interesting. I liked how I had to find a way to kill him other than just shoot him. But it's really hard to pin down a one favorite thing, because I felt like there were several things that were pretty interesting about this map. This person put a lot of effort and a lot of time and energy into doing a lot of different stuff. But I feel like this map is like a jack of all trades, but a master of none. It's very well rounded in that it tries to do a lot of things. It tries to incorporate a lot of different elements, but it doesn't have a single focus where it's like, yes, this is a custom geomap, or yes, this is like a wave survival map, or this is a specific type of, this map wasn't specifically any one thing. It was a lot of different things all sort of wrapped into one, and it was a long map. It was a lot of going back, and it was just very big. And I don't know. I mean, it was interesting. It's hard for me to say that I would want to play this map again, because just it is such a marathon, and that's really honestly the problem I have with any map that's over an hour, is that I think once you cross that threshold of, like, maybe half an hour to 45 minutes, I mean, that's sort of the sweet spot, maybe like 20 to 40 minutes. I'd say that's the sweet spot for a map. You want to try to get it in there. You get it too far past that, it's like it's too much of a time obligation, and I think people are just going to shy away from it. Now, I am happy though I played this map. I thought it was really interesting. The story, while at first it seemed like, okay, this is just a nothing throwaway story, I was surprised as I progressed through the level. The story seemed to kind of grow, and it kind of became more relevant and more interesting. And all the the Dr. Hayden, yeah, I thought that was just a throwaway thing, but it actually became a boss battle. It actually became a thing in the game that you physically had to go up against. My least favorite thing. My least favorite thing about this map. For me, it was just kind of frustrating not having the shotgun at the very beginning, because so many of the battles were like close quarters, in the hallways of the deck of the USS Journey, and the spaceship that you start out in. And I use spaceship loosely because, I mean, it's supposed to be a spaceship, but like I can't really tell, like, was I supposed to be in space, or was it just supposed to be sort of floating on the surface of the... I got the impression that it was just supposed to be floating on the surface of the planet. But if it was supposed to be in space, I think that they should have used the like at the windows, use like the space skybox or something to give you the impression that you actually were in space. But anyway, I assume the ship was just sort of floating on the surface. And that kind of was interesting too, as far as the story goes. Just kind of the whole thing with the ship and the surface and all these different locations. I felt like the story was kind of long, I kind of had a hard time following it because it kept changing. It was like, okay, there's this Project Zion, and we got to investigate that. And okay, never mind, none of that matters. It's a different thing now. Okay. And like the objectives, there were so many different objectives in this game. Like every time you turn on a light switch, it's a new objective to do something else. And I think that's a little bit disorienting for me and probably for a lot of people. Is like just the fact that you don't really have a clear overarching objective generally. I thought initially my objective was just establish communication, contact the general, and let him know what's going on. But then like my mission kept changing, which is okay. I mean, you can do that. You can have the mission change as the story sort of carries you through, like as appropriate. You can change your objective. But like it kind of just seemed like disorienting because like every time I'd enter a room, it's like I got a new objective, and then it's like I kind of lost sight of what my overall objective was. It was just kind of moment to moment as things were changing in the map. Like my overall objective kept changing, and I didn't really know what I was doing at any given time. I just had to keep checking my objective, like, okay, go here, okay, go there, okay, turn on this, okay, blow up these computers. And so I mean, I didn't appreciate that part of it, how kind of just it was a little bit of an overload as far as you've got all these different, but at the same time that kind of made the map interesting. Like I kind of liked how you had all these different things going on that kind of added to it. So yeah, I mean, I kind of have mixed feelings about this map. I mean, in one way, it's really interesting. It really, the person put a lot of time and effort into making it. It's really in depth. It's really long. It's got a pretty interesting story, and there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of things to do, and there's certainly a lot of action. The demons, I thought were fine. A lot of enemies to fight. A lot of weapons, nothing wrong there. It's just almost that when you don't have an overarching sort of end objective, that you can kind of, I know I'm rambling a little bit, but when you don't have a sort of overarching mission that you can kind of keep in mind from the very beginning, it's hard to stay focused when you're playing a map as long as this. So that's my number one least favorite thing, is that I couldn't keep in my mind what my overall mission objective was in this map. And that became a problem when this map went into 45 minutes, 50 minutes, an hour, 70, 80 minutes. When this map just kept going on and on, and I didn't know, like, overall, what is my main mission. I keep getting these little missions from point A to point B to point C to point D. Every step of the way, my objectives keep changing, but what is my overall objective? It seemed to kind of be a slippery thing, and I think that if you're going to do a map that's as big as this map is, as long as this map is, which is with as much stuff as this map has, you've got to have a really solid, really clearly defined, easily understood overall objective, or kind of sticking point in a plot where the player can really latch onto it and understand what they're progressing towards, what they're working towards, what ultimately they're trying to achieve while they're playing this map. Otherwise, it's kind of just like, they can't see the forest through the trees. They're kind of stuck. They're kind of, when do I get to, what's how much more is there? You know, they kind of like start checking their watch, like, my God, this is a long map, and it really shouldn't be this way. The best long maps are the ones that are long, but you don't notice they're long because the gameplay is so smooth that you just don't notice that the time is passing. But with me, I noticed kind of with this map that because the objectives were so broken up and there wasn't really a clear focus throughout the entirety of the level, that it was just kind of like it was just difficult for me because like I don't know what I'm ultimately doing. So that was my biggest sticking point, and it's really kind of hard for me to describe. I don't feel like I'm doing a good job of describing it, but I felt like the mission kept changing, and I didn't really ultimately know what I was supposed to be accomplishing in this level, other than just shooting people. I felt like there was supposed to be some kind of a main story plot. At some point, I think it just became like kill Dr. Hayden, but I really would have liked to have seen like a basic objective from the beginning that you kind of just try to follow through to the end. And that can change and be, you know, malleable. You can add or subtract from it as the story progresses, but there kind of needs to be a main thread that runs through the entire story, if that makes any sense. And I felt like that was sort of missing, or that it was sort of just thrown in on the fly, and it kind of just wasn't there. But you need that to be there to keep people locked in and engaged. Otherwise, they get, you know, you're talking about like the ADD generation here. Like people have a very modern ability to not pay attention for any length of time. And when there isn't something solid that they can focus on, they just sort of get bored and distracted. But anyway, so that was, I guess, you know, I'm just coming up with all this on the fly, but that was probably my least favorite thing. It's just sort of the plot sort of seemed to lose focus at some point, and I didn't know what I was doing. Yeah, but to recap, my favorite thing was just all of the different elements that this person was able to include and sort of wrap up into one level. All the interesting ways that they had sort of different things that you don't typically see, like the little puzzle element, like the changing the voltage and all that kind of stuff. And honestly, the story wasn't bad. The story was, I think, a little fractured and a little discombobulated, but if you can tie in all those individual elements of that story, maybe in a little bit more of a cohesive way, I feel like the story would be really good. The boss battle was great. I really dig that. I dig the fact that there was such a major change in scenery from on the ship to on the ground, and that was big because it made you feel like you were physically progressing through the story instead of just checkpoint, change of objective, change of goal, do this, throw that switch, go here, you know, turn off the filtration system, all these different like random tasks that you were doing on the ship. It's like, okay, I'm finally on the planet. So it's like, okay, the story is, I finally changed location. It's officially moving forward. And that was really refreshing when I finally got to that planet. Anyway. Anyhow, wow, what a mouthful. What an experience. What a marathon. The journey. You know, it certainly is the journey. It is a long, long level. There is a lot to it. There is a whole lot going on. It's quite an experience. I think that it is worth a play. It is worth a shot. I think there are some things that the editor could potentially, if they watch this video, go back through and maybe just smooth out a few things, kind of try to revisit their plot and try to tie it back into something more central, something more easy to focus on. and put in some combat music, for some of those scenes, and preferably start out the player with a shotgun. Other than that, like, I like what you're doing. That's the journey. Wow. I keep rambling about this map, but I mean, there's just so much to discuss. I feel like I really can't do it any justice because there's just so much content to discuss. It's hard to even touch on it. But hey, it's a journey, right? So that's the map. The Journey, V1, Dark Soul Blue. Check it out. And if anybody out there has a map they'd like to recommend for me, I promise I'll play it. I really had a tough go at getting this map to run. I had all kinds of technical issues. PS4 giving me trouble, all kind of glitches, connection problems of every kind. So, for me, you got to understand the journey started before the map started in that sense. But hey, it was all fun, right? So, until next time, peace out.